Thank you, gentlemen. It really does go to show how we're better together. And it's so important for us to create these partnerships and recognize the needs to work together. For OCP, we continually recognize the need to work with O&F to put together solutions. When we were in school, and for me that was a long time ago, you always wanted to, when you had to present something in front of the class, you either wanted to be, first to present or you wanted to be the last to present. And it's by no chance that I've chosen our last speaker to be last for this reason. A lot of people ask me, what's the adoption of OpenRack, and are we seeing adoption around the globe for OpenRack, and what's the value of OpenRack? I hope after you hear from our next speaker that's no longer a question in your mind. With that, I'd like to have the opportunity to introduce Francis Lam from Huawei Technologies.
Good morning, OCP. It's a true honor to be here today. Huawei has been an OCP member for a few years now. Since then, we have been exploring with our customers to see how we can best integrate OCP into our solution portfolios. It took us until 2018 when we start designing our own cloud-scale data center, and we have taken a closer look at all the different rack-scale design on the market. We have decided to adopt the OpenRack in our cloud data center as the foundation of its infrastructure. So today, I'm going to share with you our experience and the journey that we have come to today, and on stage to share with you what we have been through to come to this point. Before I begin, I would, for the benefit of those in the audience who have never heard of Huawei, I would like to give you a brief introduction of who we are and what we do. Huawei is a global leader in information and communications technology solutions. We are a truly global company. We serve customers in over 170 countries in the world. Among our 180,000 strong employees, a significant percentage of us are in engineering capacity. We take pride in designing innovative solutions and serve our customer well. And we have dozens of R&D centers around the world, hiring the best and the brightest in the field. And through the hard work of our employees and our partners and our customers for past 3 decades, we have gained a lot of momentum in the marketplace that we serve. Our mission is to bring digital to every person, home, and organization for a fully connected, intelligent world. And how are we going to do and deliver on that promise? We focus on 3 areas. First, we build smart devices for the individuals. Secondly, we help provide the pipe that connect these devices together. Last but not least, we offer the computing and cloud infrastructure, enable the best and latest service to be delivered to those devices. And we have done quite a bit and achieved a lot. Our smartphones now rank among the top 2 in the world. In 2018 alone, we shipped over 200 million units. They feature the bleeding-edge functionalities at a reasonable price. Our customers love them. In the area of global carriers, we serve hundreds of telcos around the world, offering the broadest portfolio of telecom and wireless infrastructure solutions, from 4G to 5G, from VNF to providing cost-effective wireless communication infrastructure to the rural area. We are the world's leading infrastructure provider in this space. For our enterprise customers, we provide IT solutions such as servers, storage, networking, and cloud computing software and solutions. we have customers worldwide. Thousands of enterprises and businesses have now adopted Huawei's IT solutions across many different continents and different industry verticals. Almost half of the world's largest corporations now have trusted Huawei's IT solutions. Now, while it is the first time that we are standing on this stage today and talk to you and share with you our story, but Huawei is no stranger to the open source community. For many years, we have been actively participating in a lot of these open source projects. Very often, we rank among the top in terms of our contribution. And in many cases, we are founding members as well as on the board of directors of many of these projects. Now we are adding OCP into our portfolio as a platinum member. What I'm going to share with you today only marks the beginning of our adoptions, collaborations, and contributions to OCP. And we expect that in the future, you would see more from us in terms of the solutions that we built and the contributions back to the community. Our newest venture in Huawei is to offer public cloud service. So in the past couple of years, we have developed a rich portfolio of services that we deploy on our public cloud, beginning in China, now also in Europe and Latin America. We are at the moment that we are about to go big and be able to scale as well as to broaden the geographic coverage and the portfolio of our service. As we do that, we need to develop the kind of data center infrastructures that can enable us to scale and deploy fast and cost-effective manner. Our venture into OCP has compelled us to rethink as an IT system vendor, what exactly are we adding values? What are we bringing to the table? We need to stop reinventing the wheels. We cannot build everything from scratch every single time. We need to focus on what counts. We need to focus on what truly matters to our customers. We need to channel our valuable engineering resources on the area that can truly differentiate ourselves. As such, we look at all the open source community and all the opportunity, and we recognize that OCP has the richest portfolio of ecosystems, momentum. That's why we choose to adopt OpenRack and other OCP building blocks as part of our solutions. And as we continue to develop our solutions based on OCP building block, there are enhancements and additions that we'll be adding into the portfolio, and we are contributing back to the OCP communities. We start our engagement with OCP beginning with the NIC 3.0 project. Now we are actively participating and contributing in many of these new projects, such as Open RMC, Advanced Cooling Solutions, the OCP Accelerator Module. And as we adopt the OpenRack and integrate it into our data center, we are also making some extension to it in order to meet our specific requirement. And so we are working with the Rack and Power project team to try to align the specifications and potentially contribute some of this back to the OpenRack standard. Now let's take a brief look at the type of requirement that we have in our cloud data center. We recognize that to achieve maximum energy efficiency and reduce TCO, we need to pursue a deep level of L1 and L2 infrastructure optimization. So that is a very important element to achieve what we need to achieve. Because of the aggressive rollout schedule and the scale of the data center that we are going to build, we need to be able to reduce the lead time and speed up the deployment, right, to make our system more easily to produce and integrate and install and commission. We also want this system to be able to support higher rack density, as well as having sufficient power, cooling, and networking overhead to support future generations of technology, such as the higher power CPU, GPU, accelerators, and future generations of networking technologies. Last but not least, we are also exploring the possibility to use robotics for a truly autonomous maintenance model in some of the data centers that are relatively in remote locations. As such, when we choose to adopt the Open Rack, we choose to enhance and extend it in a few ways. One is that we are adding a cable backplane for a truly cableless blind interconnection between the model and the infrastructure. We are also adding an integrated higher density liquid cooling solutions integrating into the Open Rack design. We also need to provide a better and more standard way to manage a large rack scale infrastructure. So let me walk you through some of those. Right, so we start with the Open Rack. The form factor is identical to a standard Open Rack specifications. We choose to adopt the 48-volt bus bar instead of the 12-volt for reasons that I will explain later. As we desire to have a truly and completely cableless maintenance model, we are doing away with the front side cabling, so basically shifting the modules forward and leaving the space in the back of the chassis for the not only the 48-volt bus bar, but the cable backplane, as well as an integrated liquid cooling manifold. This enables all of our modules to be front access and maintenance, but at the same time free up all the messiness of the network connectivity and the front side cabling. Now let's take a closer look at some of the details of this design. As we switch to a 48-volt DC power supply shelf technology, a single power shelf can power the entire cabinet up to a much higher power in a single zone, so we don't have to divide it up. And there are numbers of battery backup 1U units that we can deploy to provide the backup of power. There is a dedicated top-of-rack switch section, but they can be flexibly located in different parts of the cabinet. If you look at the back of the rack, you would notice that the three main bus that I've talked about, the 48-volt bus bar, the high-speed cable backplane, and the liquid cooling manifold, these are built to conform to the Open Rack specifications, but at the same time enhancing some of this capability. Now here are some conceptual pictures of some of the possible compute modules that we can design for this platform. Because of the high power and cooling capacity, there is a lot of flexibility that we can build into this. High density compute, storage, hardware acceleration platform. Speaking of hardware acceleration, our engineers have been working closely with the new OCP accelerator module workgroup, contributing, providing our feedback, aligning our design specifications to the future specification, so that when we produce the next generations of accelerator server, no matter in the rack mount server form factor or compatible with this Open Rack design, would adopt the OAM specifications. We've been working with component partners such as GPU, FPGA. We also ourselves design our own AI processor that we can also conform to this specification. So a single platform based on OCP standard interconnect and form factor, including the form factor and the connectivity of the mezzanine card. It allows us to support all the viable accelerator silicons in a single platform. Our 48-volt power supply design deliver over 33,000 watts per rack. They can deliver up to 98.1% of energy efficiency, providing sufficient power for the future generations of CPU, GPU, and accelerator, potentially triple or quadruple the compute density per rack, and therefore reducing the footprint of the data center. To enable a truly cableless deployment, we adopt a cable backplane that allow us to have a cableless design, improve airflow, and at the same time open door to a more easily deploy a robotic maintenance type of operation model. As the density of the rack continue to increase, we need to, in some cases, apply liquid cooling. So we are working with the Advanced Cooling Solution Work Group to align our specifications, and so that we can have a more standard way to add liquid cooling to OpenRack. And this, by the way, is based on the blind mate interconnect technology, so that not only the DC power, not only the high-speed network cabling, but the liquid cooling component as well, they all can be at blind mate connect to the OpenRack. Last but not least, we now introduce a rack scale architecture into our data center. All Huawei server support industry standard management interface, such as Redfish and IPMI. And now that we are adding a layer of rack scale management software on top of it, and we want to make sure that we are aligning with the new OpenRMC specification. So our engineers are working actively with that community to make that happen, so that our management software can manage an OpenRMC-based rack scale systems. And our customer, if they choose to develop their own management software, can talk to our hardware through industry standard API. So now that we have decided to adopt OCP building block as the foundations of our systems, in addition to all the other industry standard components. So what exactly, as a system vendor, how do we actually add values in this whole process? From Huawei, our world-class engineering and unmatched customer services always lead the way. Our capacity and our global open lab infrastructure enable us to work closely with hardware and software and system integration partner for different industry verticals to enable a comprehensive software ecosystem to run on OCP-based technology. We talk about management, so we have a big effort going on to enhance the intelligence built into our management software to make it more automate, make it more smart, and deliver better value to our customers. Last but not least, we are uniquely capable of being able to design innovative chips to complement the OCP building blocks and industry standard components. Examples are our ARM CPU, that's of our own design, and our self-designed AI processor. Those are examples of our value-added chips that can be integrated into the rest of the OCP space technology. And that is how Huawei plan to build our solutions on OCP. So we start this journey by using OpenRack as the foundation of our own cloud infrastructure going forward. But we also plan to take those experience and integrate them into the ICT solutions that we offer to our customers, not only in our own cloud. Among internet service providers, large or small, telcos, and enterprise of different verticals. We aspire to build our solutions and more of them on OCP building blocks and enable a broader range of industries and use cases to be able to adopt and gain the benefit of OCP. So before I close, I would like to take this opportunity to extend an invitation to those who could be our potential supplier, our potential partner, and potential customers who are attracted to the potential value of OCP technology, but so far have not been able to find the right mix of solutions that meet your need. Talk to us. Huawei is open. Let's build this together. Thank you.